there, back when they plugged everything in before they started going acoustic there. It's 8:42 now, 18 before 9.
Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation.
That's a darn good idea. Let's check in and see what is happening to your money that you want to ask your tax or legal advisor about with the help of Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Philip, good morning. What a difference a day makes in one big company reporting, right?
It does, Dave. It is, when the big boy NVIDIA decides to report and it's time, it definitely affects everything kind of in line with what they do. So it's definitely playing big today.
Pretty darn much. And when we get to the details, folks will see why. But yesterday, before NVIDIA reported after the close, we had a generally negative tinge to it. I mean, the Dow was down 113.5 points. That was 0.21%. That's worth measuring. The rest of it almost flat. S&P was down by $1.50. NASDAQ down by 0.08%, down 21 points, and the Russell 2000 down 0.14%. It was kind of a marked time with a pink twist to it yesterday. And then NVIDIA reported and pretty much everything turned around. We can get to the specifics, but I get a real bang out of how much one mega cap stock can change the entire market outlook as far as growth stocks, right?
Yeah, it can definitely. With NVIDIA reporting this morning, I mean, it's got, the NASDAQ 100, moving up quickly.
It makes a difference. It drags the entire sector up. Next week, the big market mover probably will be Apple's release of the new fancy pants foldable iPhone. They've got that set for, let me see here. I found it in here. I had the number in. That's going to be on September 9th. We're going to get all the new Apple crud, and then the tech stocks will end up looking like a seismograph for another day after everybody tries to figure out whether the other mega cap runs. It's one of those weeks in which all the really big and meaningful economic stuff was dumped on us yesterday morning. The usual routine Thursday duty, we've got first-time unemployment claims. It looks like we're steady as far as the employment market is concerned. 203 first-time unemployment claims last week, down from 206 last week. Continuing claims basically rock solid even from where they are. 1.78 million people still looking for jobs. I guess about the only macro data dump that I found that might move things is the trade balance. And gosh, we went up again. Those tariffs aren't stopping us from buying from overseas, are they?
No, and it was a pretty big number when you think about it. It went from almost 102 billion to almost 119 billion. So a pretty big move there. Hey, the other thing that did come across my ticker is retail inventories. They did go from 0 last month to up 0.7% this month. So we're seeing an increase in inventory, both in retail and in wholesale inventories right now.
I kind of wonder if some of that might be stocking up in advance of the fourth quarter retail rush. I mean, you'd expect it to start trending up about now, wouldn't you?
I would think so. I mean, you start placing orders now to build your inventory so that you're ready for the holiday season.
Absolutely. It actually doesn't sound like as big an increase as I guess I intuitively would have expected. News this morning, we watched that gambling tool that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange puts out called the Fed Watch tool after the not-so-good PCE inflation report from the other day. The odds of a rate increase from the Federal Reserve in the September meeting goes up from 36% to 44%. You and I were kind of thinking, I'm amazed when you start looking at top-line inflation bumping its nose on 4%. Half surprised it didn't go above a 50% chance.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I would think that we're getting closer to that number, getting over 50%. I don't know. I think we probably got one more reading before the Fed meets. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah, because they're meeting the fourth week of the month next month, I think, if memory serves. So we're going to be looking at one more reading on inflation, and if it shows the same kind of lack of progress, it ain't going to be pretty when the Fed meets because they're going to have an absolute bloodbath with the different votes. Warsh,
Yeah.
of course, wants to keep the rates low, and he now has 3 rather adamant governors on the Open Market Committee that want to see rates go up. And you and I have been talking about this for a long time. It's like castor oil. We don't want a rate increase, but I fear that we need it given the state of inflation. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree, Dave. And I think we may see some gloves come off in this next Fed meeting, right?
Well, he said he wanted to have a good old-fashioned fight in those board meetings. Could happen. Other news out there. Facebook settled up that great big lawsuit with most of the states of the union. Florida was not part of it, but they're going to cough up $17 billion for hooking our kids on social media. That wisecrack earlier that one of the settlement things was going to limit underage kids from using Facebook or Instagram more than 2 hours a day. TikTok bid on the other 22 hours already, right?
Yeah. How are you going to do that? I mean, yeah, it sounds good. It's a good soundbite, but how do you make it happen?
Yeah, that kind of hit my nose that way too. I mean, okay, fine. I'm 16. I can't use Facebook more than 2 days. I'll lie about my age, right?
Yeah.
Seems like the problem. You think about $17 billion being a gob of change, and it is. But you got to remember, Facebook made $92 billion last year, so 17 billion. Geez, Zuckerberg's going to have to go to store-bought coffee at the coffee fund or something, right?
Yeah, that's definitely not a big mover for them. As a matter of fact, I think I've seen where Facebook is actually recovering some now and actually heading up. Their stock price has been, it was up like 1% yesterday.
And that kind of it adds up. I mean, we've always said stock traders can take bad news, they can take good news. What they really don't like is uncertainty. Now they got a settlement. They know what it's going to cost Facebook. They may not like it, but at least they know. See, other tidbits I've been watching this morning. Tesla has raised the price of their Cybertruck by $5,000.
Golly.
Put it on 50% off, and I still won't buy the dang thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Other stuff going on. We got pretty much it's a tidbit day today because it is relatively quiet on the reports. We did mention NVIDIA batted it out of the park, and we put the specifics aside until we got to the company reports. Just how big a day was it for NVIDIA? I hear they really kicked booty.
Well, they did. And I think it's more about their expectations going forward, Dave, because it wasn't a huge number. I mean, they beat by, let's say 12 cents a share, and they came in at $2.22. I think the biggest thing was probably revenue, right? Revenue came in at 96 billion versus 92 billion expected. So that was good. And I think what really got them going was they expect revenue to increase to 108 billion, not by, but to 108 billion in the third quarter this year. That was also way higher than expected for them. So they just got a lot of good things happening. They're up 6.2% this morning. I think they threw out some numbers even going out to 2028, but that were impressive.
I'm trying to figure out how you can do guidance in the chip industry as fast as that can move going out 2 years. That amazes me.
Yeah. Big change there. So, but obviously that is affecting all of the chip sector. Everybody's getting a nice little bump this morning for the most part.
And I suspect when we get to the futures, that'll show pretty obviously, won't it?
Yeah, it will. So we got a couple other ones here for you. Dollar General. They reported they had I guess looks like must have had a good quarter. They're trading up 7.5% this morning. Most of it's coming from guidance. I think they increased their guidance pretty big for the next quarter, and so that's got them, like I said, up 7.5% this morning. So that was looking good.
They're building another 10,000 stores too, right?
Yeah. They build a lot. They show up everywhere, Dave. Everywhere we see them. Salesforce, just kind of put it in there too. They had a good quarter. Adjusted earnings was was very good, and so they're getting a big bump. Yeah, you might say better than Nvidia. They're up 10.3% this morning.
Wowzers!
Yeah, I was looking
I
for
didn't.
losers, and I found one.
Okay.
Wendy's.
Ooh.
Yeah, the burger chain, they're down this morning about 15, now 14%. Um, so they're having some concerns about their strategic direction. So I think there's a bid to maybe even there's some talk anyway about maybe taking them private. So we'll see how that plays out.
Wendy's is always it's kind of on in a similar situation to the Walmart, Target, and prime and premium price chains. They're a little fancier than the McDonald's and Burger Kings of the world, but they aren't quite up to Chipotle's level of cachet. They're kind of in that sandwiched place in fast food where you don't know which direction to put them in your mind, do you?
Well, that's true. They are definitely a little different than everybody else, but and so they're struggling to kind of find their place.
Definition counts for a lot. Speaking of definition, while you're planning on your retirement, Social Security for most of us is a pretty decent part of our retirement planning income. There are some variables that I think folks that are looking at it maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years from now probably ought to know. What have you got for tidbits on that this morning?
There are, Dave, and when we talk about Social Security, folks can start taking Social Security at 62. For most folks out there right now, the normal retirement age, they call it the full retirement age, FRA, is 67. That's most of us. Most of us to get what they call our full benefit is at age 67. You can take it at 62. However, you get a big haircut, and that haircut is somewhere between 30 and 40% reduction in your benefit if you take it at 62. And folks, that's a big number, especially if you end up living to your mid 80s. So think about that. Now, I know there's some people that need to take it at that age because of health issues. And then remember, Medicare starts at 65. And so that's another thing to take into consideration. And then think about what if you didn't take it at 67, but you waited? You're still working, you like what you're doing, and so you're going to keep working. Every year that you go past that full retirement age, you get an 8% raise. So if you don't take it at 67, but you wait until age 70, then you're going to get 24% more money than you would have gotten if you'd have taken it at 67. So there's a lot of variables and things that need to go into that decision process. And that's part of what we try to do when we do our income planning, Dave.
Understood. Some of it, I imagine, is based upon how big the nest egg is that they're drawing off of from their private funds like IRAs and 401ks and the like, as to whether it makes sense to take the larger total sum you get across your lifetime with the lower number by registering early, or the immediate monthly cash flow when you wait until you're closer to 70. That factors into the decision, I'd imagine.
Absolutely does. Absolutely does, Dave.
Understood. Pink day yesterday on Wall Street. Let's look at the futures now, 45 minutes before we open. Just how good has NVIDIA been to the market so far?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. The Dow is not getting any help whatsoever. It's down 0.2%. Not sure exactly which stock's dragging her down today. The S&P 500 is up 1/3%. The NASDAQ 100, again, that's NVIDIA driven there, up 0.8%. The Russell 2000 down about 0.1%. On the other side of the coin, we've got silver basically flat right now. Gold's down 1/3%. Dave, crude oil bounced back up this morning, up 0.5% to $82.68 a barrel.
The sticks in my mind is similar to where it was yesterday, though.
Actually, we were at 80 yesterday, 80 and some change.
Okay. It was such a pleasant experience, I forgot it already. Looking across the pond, the Asian Rim, generally optimistic this morning at the 6 a.m. close. The two mainland Chinese markets, both up by well over 1% of the early morning close our time. Europe, on the other hand, just a little bit more circumspect about it, looking at the possibility of an interest rate change on our side of the pond. Average European index is off by about 1/3% halfway through their trading day. looking at this, trying to balance my Social Security and my IRA and 401k and my retirement planning. I need a pair of eyes to help me out. How do I find you to get your eyes on my case?
Then give us a call at 382-0037 to schedule a time with us where we can see if you're on track for that retirement you've always planned for and dreamed of, or if we need to make some tweaks here or there. And then join us for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And us again here tomorrow morning, one last time to polish off the week. I appreciate it, and you have a good day, my friend.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Be well. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Philip Statler.
Hey, folks, thanks for joining us today. Hope your day is going well. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Until then, have a great day. Bye now.